Hi guys. Yeah, another year gone by. This is our third winter now at the off-grid cabin and our second full winter at our on-grid homestead. We purchased our 40 acres here in Ontario, Canada, a 40-acre piece of wilderness property, and we built our off-grid cabin right here near the beaver pond and the wetland, and just a beautiful location. And we lived in the cabin here for our first 4 months through our first winter here on the land. And we then built our on-grid homestead. We call it our homestead because that's where we're putting our roots, and we've cleared the land, and that is where we're making our permanent home. And it's always nice to be able to come up here to the off-grid cabin, and I guess you could say we have the best of both worlds here. And as I say, the cabin is fully off-grid. It's a dream for many to experience off-grid living, or just getting back to nature, going camping and that kind of a thing, and living in the forest as we do here on our 40 acres. There's a common image, kind of a romanticized idea of the simple and easy life. And but in reality, there's no real simple or easy way to going off grid and living off grid. It takes planning and work, and while it may be a lot less complicated and perhaps less stressful in many ways by comparison to city living, it's not really easy. It can be simple, but it's not easy. Takes a lot of work for off-grid living, and seems like there's always something to do, something to maintain, something to prepare for, and a lot of those tasks just don't wait. Nothing is automatic. Everything is planned, and you don't have the modern, conveniences, the everyday conveniences that make things a lot easier, a lot of time savings. You need to do everything for today, but you have to plan for tomorrow and the following days that come. Everything from keeping warm, maintaining your heat source, your lighting, water, food supply, your personal hygiene, all that kind of stuff. None of that comes easy, and none of it comes automatic at the off-grid cabin. The heating we use here at the cabin is propane, and we fill the tanks when we go into the village to do our shopping, and so we'll get our propane and all our other supplies that we need. Our lighting is battery operated and solar powered as well. For our water, we draw our water from a natural spring, and we do have to drive to that, so we often do that when we go to get our other supplies and groceries and that kind of a thing as well. You try to do as many things in one round as you can. So again, it takes all that planning, and usually it takes the better part of a day to go into the village and get the things we need and then return home. Our personal hygiene, you're boiling water, You're either cooking it, boiling the water over a fire or over a camp stove, that kind of a thing. We do have a porta potty and we have an outhouse as well. It does cost more to travel to get the supplies and whatnot in this particular area of Ontario where we live. We do pay more of a premium for our gasoline at the pumps. So when we have to venture out, we try to do everything at once and we try to do it economically and efficiently. We only want, if you forget something on the shopping list, then you're going to have to wait until the next time that we go into town to get that supplies, There's other things like snow removal, clearing snow off, making sure that there's no ice buildup and that kind of a thing. There's walkways to shovel. Sometimes there's so much snow on the roofs that if there's ice storms and all that kind of thing, then you need to get some of that snow weight, the weight of the snow off the roofs. There's also wood to cut for campfires and cooking. There's other chores to do. We've got to manage our waste, our recycling. So we tend to recycle, reuse, and repurpose. Living full-time in the wilderness does take work. It takes stamina and endurance. The daily chores must be done and maintained for sustainable living. If you fail to prepare, then you prepare to fail. There's another aspect to living in the wilderness and living off-grid. And I think it's one of the main things that draws people to that lifestyle. And that is becoming closer with nature. Living with nature, coexisting with nature. In comparison to city living where you're very much disconnected from nature. As we're living off-grid, we find ourselves reconnecting with nature, coexisting with it. We work with the natural rhythms. We go with the weather. And we're often exposed and vulnerable to the elements. But we're one with nature. At least we feel that we're one with nature. And in that daily routine, there's a chance to de-stress, to breathe in the fresh air, to notice the little things and the details. When a bird flies by and chirps, you take a moment to notice it. You hear the howling of the wolves by the campfire at night, or the hoot of an owl. And in those moments when there's the silence, and all that there is are the sounds of nature, you get a chance to reconnect, de-stress, and contemplate life and enjoy it. In the city, we were bombarded constantly with all the different sounds and the traffic and all the different sounds of the city. And we tend to shut those sounds off. But living the off-grid lifestyle, you gain the opportunity or the chance to have that filter that that stops all the noise, that stops you from hearing all the noises in the city, that filter falls away when you're living off grid in the quietness. And you begin to notice all the different sounds of the wilderness. You know, even as you go for a walk in the woods, and as I listen right now, it is just so peaceful and so quiet. And to me, that's very valuable. And I appreciate it. I cherish it. I mean, it really is. It's just so beautiful. So here it is. Another year has gone by, and 3 years at our off-grid cabin now. And it reminds me of a song, When I'm 64. I remember when that song came out. I think I was 12 years old, 1967. And when I heard that song, that was so far away for me, when I'm 64. And I thought to myself, you know, when I'm 64, I hope I'm living in the woods. And here it is, I'm in my 64th year, and I'm living in the wilderness. And for me, my lifelong dream has come true. And it has taken work and energy and time, and together, Maureen and I have made a home for ourselves. We've staked out a little piece of heaven, and we're enjoying it to the fullest. I remember thinking that I hope that I'm in good shape when I'm 64 and not old and decrepit and not able to do things. So for those of you that are dreaming of moving to the country, getting out on the land, perhaps living off grid, follow your dream. Keep it in front of you. Follow it up with right action. Do the things that lead you toward your dream, and stop doing the things that take you away from that goal, and you'll get there. For me, it's the peace, the quiet. It's a simple life. That's what cabin life is all about. I'm Glenn. For Maureen, take care. Over and out.